you. Oh, I saw the 3 minutes. It blew my mind. It's gonna
cool.
make it. It's gonna make it. I love it.
Ah, good. I hope so. I hope so.
But you know you're not gonna be able to get away with the comparison between this and Interstellar and Gravity all within 3 years.
I know,
right?
I know. Well, I mean, I thought that when I I joked with Ridley because you know, I took a year off. I did Interstellar. You know, I did a small part in that.
Yeah, you had a cameo.
I had a cameo, but other than that, I didn't work for like a year and a half, and then I got this script, and it was amazing, and Ridley wanted to do it, and I went to meet him, and I said, the only thing is I just did this thing in Interstellar where I play a guy stranded on a planet by himself, you know, and so should I follow it up playing a guy stranded on a planet by himself? And we laughed about that. But the movie's so different, and, you know, the way it treats each character is so different that it felt like its own animal.
How do you not repeat yourself?
Well, I mean, the stories help with that. You know, you know, they're very, very different movies, and you know, the Dr. Mann character in Interstellar represents that selfishness and cynicism and all of those parts of the human condition, kind of some of those negative parts of the human condition, whereas it's literally the opposite in Ridley's movie, and the movie's really a celebration of that impulse that we all have to help each other and protect each other, and so you know, they're so different. And for me, it's like if you're working with a master filmmaker, then you're never going to repeat yourself because they're incapable of repeating themselves. So you know, it's going to be its own thing.
What does Mark Watley share in common with Matt Damon? What do you have in common?
We're both brilliant.
That I have no doubt.
Yes. No, you know, I love the character. I think for the same reason that, you know, the book is a big bestseller and people really have fallen in love with it. And I think for the same reason that I did, the character is really smart and he's really fun to spend time with. You know, he's smarter than we are. You know, he's a scientist and he's smarter than we are, but he's really funny. And he's got a great sense of humor about the horrible, horrible situation that he's in. And so it's just fun to go through it with him. And so I don't know that I have that much in common with him as much as I think I have a lot in common with the audience that found the book. Like, I think we all really like those aspects of his.
But when you describe the character, Mark, I feel like you're describing yourself. Witty, humor, and just look at the bright side of everything.
I do look on the bright side of everything. That's very true. But thank you. I know, because I think he's a really cool character. So I appreciate that.
When are you coming back to Taiwan? We miss you. We've been waiting.
I know, it's been like 13 years. I thought I was gonna go like kind of every year. I figured, you know.
So every year you thought that for 13 straight years. Hello.
Literally, but then I started having kids, and you know, now I have 4 kids, and you know, I mean, forget about Taiwan. I can't even make it to the grocery store. You know, it's like,
I was gonna ask you. You're one of the probably the most, if not the most, down to earth A-lister that I've come across. How do you do that? You can't do your own grocery, but I'm sure there were times when you could. And do you change diapers? Do you change your light bulbs? Do you do all that?
I don't change diapers anymore because my youngest is 4 years old. But yeah, I've changed thousands of diapers, and I think most dads do that nowadays. I don't think it's such a big deal anymore. But yeah, I mean, I never wanted to. I always wanted to have a normal life, and the only way you can play people who are believable, I think, as an actor, you know, or if you can relate, and when you cut yourself off from real life, then you can't relate anymore. So, and I've also been really lucky, like, you know, I married somebody who's not in the business, and I think because of that, there's less interest in our life, and you know. The story on me is, oh, he's just married and he's a father, and you know, it's not that exciting, so I get left alone.
And he's the sexiest man alive in 2007.
A long time ago. Yeah, a long time ago. You know, which in itself was a funny thing. It was like, really? It was a dry year. I don't know what happened.
When you were in Taiwan, you were asking director Ang Lee to give you a good job in Taipei, so you have a reason to live in Taipei.
I'm still asking. I'm still waiting.
But instead you're working for China's Zhang Yimou first, right?
Yes.
How's that panning out?
Wonderful. Yeah, really great.
Are you in the shoots right now?
Yeah, we're halfway through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're shooting right now in Qingdao.
Oh.
And then we go back to Beijing to finish.
It's interesting. You took in The Departed. You took the role that Andy Lau played before, and now you're working with him. Did you know him before?
No, I'd never met him. No, but I'd seen Infernal Affairs because obviously we remade it, and so Andy and I we joked about the fact that in our movie in The Departed I get killed at the end of the movie, and Andy lives in Infernal Affairs and ends up doing 2 sequels. So he's a much better businessman than I am. Definitely.
And you're back doing Bourne 5, right? Are we gonna see all those biceps and six-pack back now?
Yeah. I'm starting training already. We start shooting in like 3 months for that one.
You're going to be back and forth between Qingdao, Beijing, whatever, right? How do you see, China has been booming in this film industry. How do you see this market? I'm sure it's very important to Hollywood.
Yeah, no, huge. It's a huge market, and it's growing, and it's really growing. So yeah, no, everybody's paying attention in Hollywood, absolutely. But for me, it was less. This movie was a chance to work with Zhang Yimou. Like when I can work with a master director, I take that. If my schedule allows, then I'll always take the job. And this was a really interesting project and a big movie, like the biggest movie that I've done, and this East-West collaboration that I thought was really interesting, and a chance to work with him. So.
The biggest movie you've ever done?
Except for The Martian.
Can you give us a hint what kind of genre that would be for the Zhang Yimou?
The next one it's like a historical fantasy.
It's like an action hero again. What you do best.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, which I never thought anybody would say.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
It was nice.